I titled this Position for Discovery, and I think it's really quite appropriate. We have done a lot of work and we've developed a lot of targets over the last number of years. I've just thought I'd add a photograph to our forward-looking statement page. Now, this photograph is from the top of Buckhorn Mountain. We call it Buckhorn 2.0. We're looking off towards the south, and we can see the Buckhorn mine. And this is a common theme for a lot of our projects. We like to explore for deposits near deposits. That's right, we are drilling this year. We've got two programs that we're expecting right now. We're currently on the Cook Mountain project, and that is a partnership with Hochschild. I'll talk about that. Then we also expect to be drilling later in the summer on our Buckhorn 2.0 project. Now, keep in mind as I go through here, we're focused on high-grade gold, and Washington State is known for high-grade gold. There's been about 8 million ounces of gold mined there, average grade 14.5 grams per ton. Now, we've got a number of projects up in the top left corner is our Buckhorn project. Then we go down towards Empire Creek and Flag Hill. Those are our projects that we hold 100%. The Cook Mountain project is something that we're in partnership with Hochschild. Now, that project is very close to an existing mill that is currently on care and maintenance. And let's talk about that for a second. That mill is a 2,000 ton per day mill. It's currently on care and maintenance. It's owned by Kinross. Now, the photograph I've got on the left-hand side is a picture from oversight down towards the mill, and you can see the tailings pond. If you look at the photograph on the right-hand side, this is an obelisk that was put in by Kinross. Now, that mill has processed about 3 million ounces of gold, and that obelisk shows the various deposits that actually contributed to that. And incidentally, we have projects near all of those various mines. Now, let's start off with Cook Mountain. This is the venture that we've got with Hochschild. This is where we're drilling on Goodfoot, Lamefoot South, and Oversight. Now, this isn't the first time we've drilled on this project. We have done some drilling in the past. We didn't have quite as good a gold market as we have now. But here are a few examples. 2.3 grams per ton gold over 4.5 meters. Now, this is a single drill hole into an EM conductor about 300 meters north of the Key West pit. Here's another interesting intercept, 9.6 grams per ton gold over 11 meters. This is under the Overlook deposit. 19.4 grams per ton. That's about 300 meters to the southeast, very close to where we got these other numbers, like 6.5 grams per ton over 3 meters. Now, these are some pretty interesting results, and I think this is what attracted Hochschild. Now, Hochschild can earn up to 60% on this project by spending a total of $8 million US on exploration in the next 5 years. They have an option to go up to 15% in the following 3-year period. What we're doing this year, we're expecting a 3,000 meter drill program between 8 to say 12 drill holes on Oversight, Goodfoot, and Lamefoot. We're also going to be looking at some of the other projects within that venture, which would be Iron Mountain. We're attempting to develop better drill targets on that project. Now, we've got a lot of projects. I won't go through all of them, but I will give you a flavor of what we would call a good target. These are really well-developed targets, and they're based on a number of different criteria. Here's Goodfoot. Obviously, this target is based on IP data. The deposit we're looking for occurs on the contact of two types of rock, limestone, which is shown in blue, and the yellow clastic rocks, which is shown in this on this side here. Now, if you look at our geological map on the left-hand side, these blue bands that you see, those are the limestone, and you can see how it's in contact with these yellow rocks. That's where we're looking for this style of deposit. This is gold in soil, so you can see where we're seeing the concentrations of gold. It's near that contact, so it gives us a lot of confidence that we're really testing the right area. Now, I'm going to fade out the geology and the geochemistry, and you can see the development of these IP targets that we're now testing. They're right along that contact, and they've got some size potential to them. I'm going to remove the geology, and you can see the IP with the soil in geochemistry. Now, we've put a hole through here where we're getting some geochemistry in that. Here's a current hole we just started today. It's GF16, and that runs right through this part of that target. Okay, so quick little summary of that project. We are drilling 3 projects. It will be Goodfoot, Lamefoot South, and Oversight. All of these projects are near past producing mines, and this is funded by the Hochschild Partnership. Now, changing the story a little bit here, we also have a number of 100% owned projects. So I mentioned this at first in the first couple of slides, but here's Flag Hill. Flag Hill is very close to Nob Hill. Nob Hill produced 3 to 4 million ounces of high-grade gold, average grade 20 grams per ton. Empire Creek is really quite close to K2, which is where Kinross is currently focusing some of their exploration. That's call it 1 million ounces of 8 to 12 grams per ton. Something that's a little different for us is called the Talisman. This is a skarn, and we originally targeted this to see if there was precious metal credits associated with that skarn. We didn't find a lot of precious metals, but we did find a lot of base metals. And with the base metal market we have now, we're looking at this a little bit closer to see what we've got, and we're quite keen on this. Our main focus, however, is Buckhorn, and it's called Buckhorn 2.0. This project surrounds the Buckhorn mine. And let's take a closer look at that. What do we like about this project? Well, we like the fact that it's a large size project for us. It's about 9,000 acres. It extends up to the Canadian border, and it surrounds the Buckhorn mine. The Buckhorn mine was 1.3 million ounces of gold, average grade of 12 grams per ton, and that was the 3rd highest grade operating mine in the USA while it was in production, and it was in production until about 2017. We have a number of targets on this project. You can see the little blue star in the center of that claim block. That's the Buckhorn. So if we look to the south of that by about 1.5 kilometers, we see the Keystone prospect. This is something that we have defined on historic drill results. A company called Ramrod Consolidated intersected 9 grams per ton gold over 7.62 meters. We don't believe that was adequately followed up. Prospective trend. We submitted a plan of operation to drill that last year, and we're expecting that to be completed by, say, the end of June. So we're hoping to be drilling that early summer this year. Another prospect that we've got, another target, is called the Magnetic Mine Prospect. Here's another skarn. Of course, we targeted this to see if there were precious metals. We didn't spend a lot of time in that, but we didn't find a lot of precious metals. We found some, but the base metals, again, were really quite high. Copper in grab samples from 1 to 6%. Silver, 1 gram per ton to 280 grams per ton. That's right in here. Historic drilling, 0.2% copper over 34 meters with higher grade zones over 4% over significant widths like 6 meters. Some of those drill holes actually contain some gold, and a good example would be gold values over a couple of meters at 5 grams. So those are certainly areas of interest, but what I do like about this is it's a larger skarn showing. It's 500 by 700 meters by 200 meters, and you can fit something of significant size into that. Last year, we submitted a plan of operation on that, and we expect to have that completed sometime also in, so let's call it late June. Those are not the only 2 prospects we expect to see on this project. This map on the far right shows a bunch of red dots. Those red dots are targets that Kinross had identified but did not get a chance to drill. When they dropped that ground, we picked it up, and we were able to identify these just through some of the permitting that was done. We expect to start exploring these areas with the red dots where there's a higher focus and see if we can reconstruct these targets. And the snow just melted about a week ago, and we've got guys on the ground now, and we'll start our targeting process. And again, there's one deposit here. It's called Buckhorn. We typically expect to see these types of deposits in clusters. They don't typically, in our minds, occur as single occurrences. Now, on the management group, Yale Simpson is the chairman. He's got a few discoveries behind him. A couple of changes that we have made to our board in recent times would be Mark Jones and Chris Harold. These 2 gentlemen came from Crown. They were involved in the original discovery of the Crown Jewel, which became the Buckhorn Mine. Further down on that, the advisor, Peter Cooper, he also worked with Crown and later spent the rest of his career with Kinross. So he knows this property very well. And I think we've built a really strong team around Buckhorn, and it gives you an impression of how important we think this project is to the company. Northeast Washington State is a proven high-grade gold district. There's a mill there. I think this is a really great opportunity for us. We've set up our targets. We spent a lot of time and we've gone through a lot of data and we've really refined our targets, and we're now well-funded and we're now currently drilling. So, you know, Bob's presentation just before this really shows the value of discovery, and you know, he's shown the reward that you can get from taking targets to discovery. I think this is where we are now, and we're really excited and we're quite grateful that we get this opportunity to test these targets. We've put a lot of effort into to developing them. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer those during the question and answer period, but also you can contact us at any time. Thank you very much.